This area right here, I tend to find a lot of like demonically infested people. I don't know what it is, but they tend to sit over here. Like I've run by a lot of them here. Some of them I have on video. I don't know why. It's just like a little area, it's a little dark area, but a lot of times they tend to end up over there. It's also like a hangout, like sometimes kids will hang there and stuff, just like, you know, listen to music, whatever. But yeah, that's a hot spot. It's not always way off in like dark places, you know. Sometimes, because they'll always go where there's light and people, but they won't go directly into the light, or like they wouldn't sit out here. They'll find like a dark spot within the light, you know, within the lighted areas. There's other spots like that where I could show you if I walk by, like where I've seen demonically possessed people. Just got out of Ross. They usually, like the past, I don't know, a couple years, around Halloween time, I mean it's September, they'd have aisles and aisles of Halloween stuff. Like aisles, tons of shit. And I like buying that stuff because my house is kind of like that. It's got a lot of kitschy type of, nothing satanic, but like goofy kind of Halloween-y type stuff. There's bats, like a lot of skulls, and, you know, kitschy kind of goth stuff. But they don't have anything this year. Last year was kind of the same way too. It's like they've already sectioned off all their Halloween shit into a little area. So I don't know. Falun Dafa, Falun Gong. They're against human trafficking in China. I don't know how they're allowed to operate in China. I mean, I'm not supposed to, I guess, but they're the main opponents of the trafficking and the organ trade. Their leader kind of sees himself as some kind of Masonic figure. It's a bit complicated, but although I don't know a lot about the Falun Gong, Falun Dafa, it's like I tend to side with them because of what they oppose. It's one of those enemy of my enemy is my buddy type of thing. But yeah, so this year for Halloween over at Ross, they're already done selling Halloween stuff. And I want to say like 3 years ago, there were aisles and aisles and aisles. And what's great about that is like things would, after a couple weeks, would start getting deep discounted. I just redecorate the house again. And as the year goes on, I'd toss things, move things, change things, stuff gets dumped. And then so Halloween time was like redecorating time at Ross. But this year they didn't have anything. It's almost like they kind of didn't do it. I think maybe, I mean, it has to do with consumer goods, I guess, on the decline, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But it's not even October, and they're already done with it all. And then have enough of it so that to deep discount. I did get some stuff. I got some cool stuff for the house, but yeah, the thing about Halloween, my feelings toward it have changed a lot, you know. It used to be like my favorite holiday, I guess you want to call it that. Before I understood its satanic origins, it's basically Halloween for Satanists is like, I saw Satanists talking about it on YouTube, saying that it's like Christmas and New Year's, or Christmas and Easter together for them. You know, they love it. They like that Christian families let their kids dress up like monsters and run around. I see it. I mean, I understand now, but I still like the aesthetic. As long as it's not anything satanic. You know, I don't have anything satanic in my house. I wouldn't. The only things I have that would be considered like satanic are for like research purposes. You know, like I have a tarot deck and a few other little things. that for research, you know, but it's not anything I use on a regular basis or have any interest in using. It's good a little bit to know what the other side's doing, or have an idea of how their shit works, because, you know, like I always say, they're using it on you 24/7, so it's good to have an idea of how they use it. You're unknowingly using it. You're unknowingly being involved in it every day, all day. It's this area is sort of designed that way. They don't leave anything to chance, you know. Like Halloween itself too, I used to like celebrating it, you know, before I understood what it was. I was always under the impression it began like in Ireland, as far as the so I guess you could blame my people for it, but I don't know, you know. I don't know what the deal is with that. Not anything I've ever really done a deep dive on, especially once I found out its origins as far as what the holiday means for Satanists, and it just became less interesting to me. That's why I was down about that. Well, I'm not going to get into Duran Duran, but for a change. But yeah, I just don't enjoy it as much anymore. Obviously, I've always maintained that as long as I know what I'm dealing with, and I know the trick, then the trick isn't going to work on me. I kind of I do that a lot with music. You know, I know a lot of it's bad, but having the awareness that it is bad, it does help a little bit. You know, especially when if you're aware of something being done to you on some level, you don't even have to know how the mechanics of it work. Just understanding that there's something there can protect you. Awareness is protection, you know. And then you have God's protection. I was watching a video today too about, well, I didn't even watch the whole thing, just the premise of it was, are tattoos evil? Well, you know, by having tattoos, and, you know, some of us got their tattoos a long time ago. I did too, I mean, years ago. And, you know, what do? Do you like get skin grafts or something? No, you don't. God sees your heart. He doesn't care about all this other stuff. I had a little bit of a crisis with that about a year ago, about the aesthetics thing, like because of how I dress and how I look and stuff. And, you know, I'm like, does this bother God? Turns out, no, it doesn't. Turns out it doesn't, because he knows you. You know what I mean? Like, he understands you. He knows where you're coming from. He's looking for intent, and he's looking for your heart. Whether or not you wear fucking eye makeup isn't really a situation for him. At least that's what I've interpreted or translated or been meant to understand. And unless that changes, I'm just rolling with that. You know, same thing with the goofy Halloween aesthetics and stuff. It's your heart, you know. He sees you. He doesn't see, you know, what you wear. You know, that stuff's not that important to him. Got the old security system on. I never relax. You kidding me? I'll be back later. Gonna hopefully maybe run into something interesting out here. It's been kind of quiet. Haven't had any run-ins with anything interesting. But I'm always looking. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.